Come on, Mina. Come on, bro.
For
Nah, man, they here for you, bro.
Chris, did you get a little happier with your 40 times than you were at the combine?
You know, pretty much the same, but I feel like I could have did better. But, you know, I'm just glad that I sat here and improved on my time. So, you know, I can't, you know, argue with that.
Yeah, what kind of time did they tell you you were in?
Electric 4.49, hand time 4.45, so, you know, a little faster, but, you know, that's fine.
Well, you wanted to get into the 4.4s.
Yeah, man. I wanted the 4.3s, but, you know, I'll take the 4.4.
Yeah. Was this just better? I mean, is this just more comfortable doing it?
It's more comfortable doing it because you see familiar faces, and plus, you know, my whole career, you know, we've been training here, so, you know, it's like practice. All the other stuff, the nerves and everything's out. You just, you know, have to be around your teammates, and you're just, you know, competing and just showing everyone what you can do.
And then you get into the pass thrill. There's a certain guy you might know.
Yeah, and it's always, you know, it's like took me back a little bit catching balls from Jake, but, you know, I'm just glad he was able to come back, and, you know, I'm just really blessed to be in the situation I am now.
It sounds like you're slimmed down a little bit since the combine. What went into that? How much weight did you lose?
From the combine, I lost 3 pounds. I was 215. I was 212 today. And from the Senior Bowl, I lost 12 pounds. So that's just, you know, just working hard, you know, just doing extra abs, eating right, and, you know, just overall belief in what you're doing and, you know, people around you. And just, you know, I just didn't want to leave anything out there, leave anything like negative about me. I just really wanted to go in there and just show them how much I love football and how much I really do care. And I just want to go out there and just, you know, be the best I can be.
And did you put some on after the season?
I've been the same weight. You know, I was the same weight from, you know, the season to after the season. It's just that, you know, I wasn't working out as much, so fat, you know, kind of went down this area a little bit more. But, man, I just looked different. It was just, you know, when I went to the Senior Bowl and I was on the little weigh-in and I was flexing and I was looking down and didn't see any abs. I was like, okay, yeah, this is, you know, I gotta get right. You know, this is my body I'm used to.
Did you get any feedback from scouts or anybody about that topic?
Yeah, they definitely said that, you know, they want to see me shape my body up a little bit more. And, you know, I was just extra push because, you know, myself, I wanted to, you know, shape up a little bit more. Just hearing it from them, that's an extra push to really go out there and just make it happen.
At this stage in the process, is it tough to know who's interested in you, all that stuff?
You never know who's interested. That's, because, you know, you can have a good interview one day, then you see them again, they won't even talk to you the next day. So it's just, you know, just always got to be ready and just know that they're always watching. Everything that you do is being critiqued and judged. So you just got to really carry yourself in a good manner. And, you know, it's no longer a sport, it's a business now. So you really got to broadcast your brand and just show people who you really are.
What's your schedule now from now to the draft?
Now I'm gonna still work out. I'm gonna stay up here, work out with the team a little bit. Then I'm gonna fly home. Then, you know, depending if I have, you know, teams wanting to, you know, have individual workouts, I'll be doing that. But besides working out, then, you know, I'm free. I'm just, you know, on the grind. I still gotta, you know, maintain being in shape, maintain my weight, you know, get stronger. You know, just come like when my name is called. Just gotta be ready.
Will you be down at home for the draft or up here? Or?
I'll probably be back at home. You know, I just gotta. You know, I've been away from home for a while. You know, it's always good to be back there. But you know, I'll definitely come back here. You know, just, you know, pay some visits to Keith Price. You know, Jesse Callier and all my teammates. You know, I miss them a lot. But you know, it's just a real, you know, great. I'm just really blessed to be in this type of, you know, my predicament I am now.
Has this been a blur to this point, or is it?
It's really half. It's like, it's a crazy like how fast things go. You know, now I'm done with pro day. I just remember yesterday I was, you know, just showing up to the combine. You know, just getting used to that time change.
Months away.
Yeah. Now it's, you know, it's crazy how you know, fast things go by, and you know, I'm really, you know, happy, you know, with my life. I'm really loving life right now, and you know, it's surreal that, you know, the best is yet to come. And you know, it's still the beginning. You know, it's just me getting to the door and, you know, opening it.
But do you think how long that process will be? Because you're so anxious to, like you said,
I'm anxious, but I don't think, you know, it really hasn't hit me yet that, you know, I'm almost here about to make this transition. You know, just like last week, I couldn't believe that, you know, I was done with school. I don't have any more papers to do. I don't have to email my teachers anymore and, you know, go to office hours. I just, you know, it's just crazy. You know, yesterday it felt like, you know, I was just, you know, with my team working out, you know, getting ready for the Holiday Bowl. But now, you know, I'm here. It's just crazy how time flies.
Do you get to sneak in a Big Mac or something now this is over?
I'm definitely gonna eat, and you know, I haven't had fast food in like a month and a half. So, you know, I've been seeing that, you know, that dinner box from Pizza Hut that's been, you know, calling my name on TV. So I might definitely order that tonight.
And then are you gonna kick back into the same kind of workout?
The same workout, kind of the same workout, but you know, be more, you know, weightlifting wise, and you know, more football oriented more rather than drills, because I'm gonna be working out with the team. So I'm gonna do team runs with them, you know, lift with them, and you know, push and compete them. Because you know, I got a chip on my shoulder now because I can't let no college athlete beat me in a race no more. So it's cool.
And when you hear your name called on draft day, do you have any idea what they're
I really don't have no idea. It's, you know, it'll be, you know, a very proud moment in my life because, you know, since the age of 6, since I first touched football, it was my dream. It's just, you know, my mind can't even process that right now, what I'm going to feel like. But I just can't wait for that day to happen.
You were down at AP in LA. What was that process like?
It was great. You know, it was great to be home. You know, I was only an hour and a half away from home. So on the weekends I'd drive home. You know, I was working out with Pac-12 guys, Andrew Luck, Michael James, Eddie Pleasant, Darren Thomas. So, you know, just being there, have a little Pac-12 rivalry and, you know, trash talk going on. You know, it's fun. You know, I really like, you know, have fun with the people when I was with, and, you know, just build new friendships outside of football.
Were there specific things you were working on down there, or was it just overall?
Just overall, you know, getting my weight down and just, you know, just speed, you know, come out here and just, you know, do good in the 40 and just, you know, work on the bench and it just, you know, just work on my game overall, just slim down and just really show them, you know, what I can do.
What was your 40 time, your fastest time?
Electric 4.49, hand time 4.45.
Yeah, you feel pretty good about that?
That's all good. You know, I feel like I could have did better, but I'm not complaining.
Yeah. Overall, how with everything, catching,
overall, you know, I feel like I did good. You know, besides that one drop one, you know, I had to get that back, but you know, I feel like I did real good. Hopefully they thought so.
Chris, who's your age?
Steve Carrick.
On the drop.
Your background as a receiver, how much do they want to see you run the route tree and your speed, your ability to create separation that way?
You know, I think that, you know, that not too many people know that, you know, in high school I was a running back only 1 year, and, you know, I think they want to do that a lot because they know I can run with the ball. So now just like catching, you know, route running, just really showcase my abilities. I think that's going to really, you know, help me. So they really want me to see if I can really catch those things. And you know, I have no problem. It's like my second position. I'm just comfortable with it.
And then as a third down back, do you see that as a role potentially for you at the next level?
Yeah, because I just see, you know, me personally, I just see, you know, passes as an extended carry. You know, I'm not gonna fumble the ball. I'm not gonna, you know, drop any pass. If it's come my way, if you trust in me, I'm gonna, you know, get the job done.